Hello, boss. So, six, another. Okay. Please remember that gathering data. That's fantastic. Financial analysis. I love that. So with your setting, you are used to it. You and I mean, when there are at the end of the term for assessment, so you basically use Excel for assessment. That's fine. So whether you have a student, their class scores, their exam scores, then if you have to calculate it, you need to know their averages, right? So basically, today what we'll be doing, we are starting with the basics so that we are all on the same time. That was last 2 weeks, right? Richard took you guys to Microsoft Word, right? So now we are fresh with the basics of Microsoft Word. So when you are moving on to Excel, it's quite easier. But today we'll be doing a lot of calculations. Doing formulas, how to sum up values and all of that. And you'll be able to know what an Excel sheet is all about. Excel is all about gathering data. What you are using the data for. How people will see the data. How they interact the data to other people. Because if I give you particular data, you need to understand the data before you can work with the data. If you don't understand the data, how are you going to work with the data? Excel, we manipulate numbers. It's all about numbers. Okay. Where it's all about where ABC, this kind of stuff. But Excel is more, calculations and then and there's a lot of functionalities embedded in the Excel application. So I'll start. You want to start with the other one? I'll just show them like pictures. Don't know. So it's not picture. Okay, so while we are doing the setup, we are still in the app. So I would like to introduce myself. I'm Joshua, as I said, I'm Joshua Mina. I'm a technical consultant, and I will work with Microsoft as an intern with Microsoft. So I'm more of a cloud solution architect, and also I do more of business application. I deploy these applications to companies. I'm a software developer. I'm a software developer as well. So that's what I do. I do more projects for companies, and on my own, I love coding. So at my relax, I code. When I'm working, I build an application. So due to that, I have a community in Accra. So we have a particular community that we are Microsoft group. So we do organize monthly trainings for our community that we have. So we look at professionals. So we have in IT, we have professionals, we have IT pros, and then we have those who don't really idea when it comes to those kind of stuff. And when it comes to hardware, I take concept. So I know more hardware. Hardware is not my thing. I'm more with software. This guy something small about me. companies. At the moment, I'm a systems administrator, but I am home for particular projects, so that's why I decided to be here. So I've been with EBI since last year. So we've been planning this particular project for a longer time. So our main focus is to impact you with knowledge. That's our main focus. That's our mission. We are looking at the urban centers, but we're looking at the rural areas, where we are required more access to internet. And we do understand that now we are in a technological era. So we need to be abreast with technology. Day and day out, we use our phones. Phone is a particular technology on its phone, and there are applications installed on it. But if you're a user of a phone and you can't even use your phone at all, then why did you buy the phone? Because there are particular apps that you need to understand how to use the application. If you don't know how to use the application, you can't it's post-90. Let's use the general application, WhatsApp. Everyone who wants to go online and on WhatsApp for communication. So yeah, communication is easier. You can create groups, you can communicate with our friends, families. There are a lot of features that embedded in WhatsApp where you can even do video calls. So I can be here and I still do video calls with my teammates in US. So one particular app that we are all used to is WhatsApp. If you do not have to use WhatsApp, I don't know the kind of human being you are. I'm sorry to use that word. So earlier on WhatsApp as an app wasn't really like WhatsApp as you can see today. We see that they are developers who are improving on what they do. So they take feedback from the users. You as a user, they take feedback from you. So that they can improve on what they are doing at their back end. They roll out updates that you need to update. That's why it's very crucial for you to be updating your phone online. We are in a country where we see updates, we ignore. Reason data, we need to buy data. Right? The data is expensive in Africa. And our narrow is quite expensive. But one thing I say is, we all say that we want to follow our passion, right? I want to be a teacher, yes. That's why you are a teacher. But you follow your passion. Have you invested heavily in your passion? You invest in your passion. You get it? Don't only follow your passion. Invest in your passion. Here's the case where you're a teacher. There are other courses you can do, and you can be better off than your course mates. It doesn't mean like you have to only stick to one thing. Just have that vision to move outside the comfort zone. You get it? Don't be comfortable where you are. Never. Have that vision to move. I mean, to have a step ahead of people around you, and expect for you to make that decision. No one will make that decision for you.
Hello, hi everyone. Please, there are people that Josh, there are people that are not in the classroom with you, so you have to find a way to also engage them. Listowell is in Seku, and that's why I was hoping that you can have a video or a picture or something for them to feel connected. Please.
Okay, that's fine.
Hello, boss. This is Listo.
Hi, Listo.
Yes, please. You said something and I didn't hear you well.
Can you tell me what I said?
No, I didn't get you well.
Yeah, your voice is very far away. So please try and I don't know if there is a microphone or something. I don't know, but if we have to get one, let us know. But it feels like we are not participating with you guys.
Okay.
Okay, I am on. Okay, I am on it. I am.
Share the screen. Let's share the screen. This is the first one. Share screen. All right, so if you're on Zoom, can you see my screen? Hi, Letitia.
Yes, we can see. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yes, please.
Please, we are having some kind of technical challenge, so we are working on it. The right one, the link is not showing.
Okay.
It's supposed to show full screen. Okay, so we are about to start. You've been able to fix the technical challenge. I was supposed to share the PDF, but we are not able to share that. So I'll go straight to the point and we start. So please, let's launch our Excel app. So if you go to, you can go to search button and then search for Excel, Microsoft Excel. So you have Microsoft Excel 2007. So you can launch that application. Are you all on the same line? Have you been able to launch the application? Okay, that's fine. So let's go. So we are starting with some basic calculations. That's a basic calculation. You know, I've already designed this Excel template, and it's an Excel template. So for us not to waste a lot of time, we would have to, design all this from scratch on your PC. It's possible. We can all do it together. Okay, so that we can have the general idea of what we are doing. Okay. So we've all lined the application, right? Can we start? I want us to be on the same page, okay? So can we start? Okay. So first of all, you can see when you line the application, you can see the ribbon, right? So where is the ribbon located? As at last 2 weeks, I'm sure Richard took you through all of that. So we can skip that now. So okay, we can go on. Okay, so the ribbons, they are broken into tabs. So we have we have the home section. I'm struggling to see. So I don't know how. So in your home button, there's an insert section that we have. There's insert section. Hi, so those of us on Zoom, we still have a technical issue that we are trying to rectify. So kindly give us 10 minutes and we will get back to the training. Thank you. I don't do my setup before we start. Hello everyone. So we are about to start. We've been able to solve the technical challenge. All right, those of us are on Zoom. Letitia, Tony.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are about to start. So I've shared my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Even though there are more advanced features when it comes to the 2010 and the direct. So at the moment, we only have the 27. So let's see what we can do around the 27. Okay, so here you can see my home screen. You can see the home. We have the insert button where you can insert pictures, clip art, and all of that. We have the page layouts. We have the formulas. So this is where all the formulas are. We have data. So we have data, we have review, and then we have the view. Basically, where we'll be working around is all these sheets. See, around all these, this is where we'll be working around. So we have the formula bar. We have the formula bar here. So we have the rows and the cells. You know, they have been grouped into. You can see you have A, you have a B and C. So it's supposed to help us identify the kind of row we are working with to make things easier for us. You get it? So now that we okay, let me show you something. So we have I've highlighted the gene. You see the gene. So it will show me that I am on G7, right? So it means that I'm working on a particular row, right? Okay, that's fine. So let's start to input the data onto it. So as you can see it, we have item. So I've gotten some hints from. Please, I'm sorry for rushing. So let's start. So we have the row and the column. Okay, which we understand when it comes to the row and the column. So we'll be working with more rows and more of the columns today. Okay. So in our Excel template, this is the worksheet. This is a worksheet. That's where we input our data. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Hello, everyone. Please, we are having a little bit of challenge. I want to just take up a bit so we get back and yeah. So last week we did with Word, and Word was basically used to enter text-based documents. That is writing like ABC, the alphabet, and all that. So you can insert some pictures and others. And now we are dealing with Word. Sorry, Excel. And one thing about Excel is that it displays information in rows and then columns. Unlike Word, that will just open a page for you to type everything you want. Excel will have to organize the information in a row and a column. So when we talk about the row, is the lines that go that way. The lines, the horizontal lines. Those are the rows. And every row is represented by a row number. So if you look at the horizontal side, you will see a list from 1 to infinity, to like you can list to however you want it. And then every column is represented by an alphabet. So the A, B, C, D also represent what? The columns. Please, those online, have you launched your Excel application? Are you following us?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So basically, that is what Excel does, which is very different from Word. And that Excel is an example of a spreadsheet application. Aside this one, all the features of Word, or most of the features of Word are also here in Excel. As you can see, if you look at the bars, last we learned the navy toolbar, we learned the formatting toolbar and all that. So if you look at the upper side of your page, the first thing you see there is the title bar. Okay, that title bar has the name of the document you've opened. Okay, if you open a fresh sheet, before you just saved it, it will be book 1. Okay, I hope you all have that book 1 on it. So the book 1 is the name of your document because you have not saved it. Excel has given it an automatic name. And then aside that, you see a dash and then Microsoft Excel, which is telling you the kind of program you are using. That's the file extension. Okay, so that's the file extension. And if you move away to the very left-hand side, you will see some, let me show you that. You will see some symbols here. The first one is the save symbol. One thing about Word and Excel is that when you put the mouse on it, it will tell you the name of that particular thing. Okay, so the first one is the save symbol, and this one is called the quick access toolbar. When we talk about quick access toolbar, it deals with like tools you use often. So if you want to be saving your work as you work along, you quickly bring a save button there. So when you work small, you can quickly tap on it to save instead of going to far before you go and save. Then you can see the undo. The arrow that comes backwards is undo. The one that goes forwards is redo. Okay, so you can see your undo and redo. They are all things that you might use often. That's what Excel thinks. But you can customize that. Have you seen an arrow after these two things I've talked about? An arrow and then there's a point on it. Click on it like I click on mine. You don't see the arrow there. Before the book, that arrow on it. Have you all seen the arrow? You click on it. Please check on my page if you can't see yours. The arrow points downwards with a bar on top of it. If you click on it, it will bring a drop-down menu. Then you see a lot of things there. So you can customize your quick access toolbar. So you can decide what you want it to be on the quick access toolbar, depending on what you use often. So mostly, I would like to add my save is already there. So let me add open. When I click on the open, you will see that something has added up to the three things that was there. So you can choose either of the stuff you saw there. You've done that. So have they add up? Those online, please, are you following us? Yeah, really, very,
Yes, sir.
wow. Okay, so this tells you that the quick access toolbar, you can always customize it as you want, based on what you want to put in there. So after the quick access toolbar, we have the menu bar. And that is where we have the home, we have the insert, we have the page layout, we have the formulas, we have the data, we have the everything. But the little we will do, if you go home, you try and continue from there. Okay, so that's the menu bar. And every menu contains a lot of items under it. When you go to the restaurants and they give you a menu, basically it's a sheet you choose from which would you want. The same thing. You see, the IT is like they look at human life and made it. So menu is basically, it contains a list of items you can pick from. So when you click on your home menu, you will get a lot of things you can select there, equally like the other menus. And aside that menu toolbar, you now come to your work itself. When you come here on the sheet, I first of all said that Excel present information in rows and columns. Okay, when you come, we have something we call an active cell, and the active cell is the current cell that is accepting data. So if you are working in Excel, because there are a lot of rows and columns, please, sorry, I've not explained a cell, so let me just explain that. A cell is the intersection of a row and a column. Where a row and a column meet, that is a cell. Okay, so we have A, B, C, D, and then we have 1, 2, 3. So I've pointed my distance at A4 because for this particular place, it's an A, and then for that meter. So my own is on A4. When I click on the A4 will be up here. Please check here. Can you see that? Just click on any cell and see if the name will appear here. It has appeared, right? That means it's the cell A4 that is going to accept it. So when I begin typing now, it will be typing into cell A4. If I want to change the cell, then I have to go and click on a different cell, or I use the, what we call it, the control keys, the arrow control keys to change the cell. Okay, and then after the portion that shows the cell number, the next thing is called the formula bar. A lot of you already said that Excel is used for calculations. So calculations entails a lot of formulas. Excel, you can enter one formula and use it for a whole lot of amazing things to make your work very easy and faster for you. The next thing is called the formula bar. So if you begin to type a formula in Excel, it will appear there. That place you've seen an FX. Maybe those who understand mathematics one, like you understand better. I'm not good at math. So that is the formula bar. When you get to the formula section, you understand what I'm talking about. And after that, beneath this one is the workbook itself. That is where you enter your data. And when you come downwards, after the workbook that contains the rows and the columns. Wow. I'm doing something at the background, that's right. That contains the rows and the columns. You will see another bar under it. If your own is an Excel you just launched, you will see sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. You can add as much as sheet you want. So that place also contains different sheets. If you are working on a sheet here and you want to move to maybe a different sheet, maybe you are entering data for KG1 and you want to enter for KG2. but you want all of them to be in the same file because it's maybe list of students. So you just create another sheet. After the sheet, your last sheet, maybe yours ends at sheet 3, you will see a plus. Okay. Is that a plus? It's not really a plus, but it's something like that. The last thing you see after the last sheet, if you click on it, it will add additional sheet. Yes, I use Excel 2016, so a lot of the features have changed. But still, if you click on the last thing you see after the last sheet, it will add up another sheet. Meaning, if you want to create one document containing different sheets, you can easily do that. Okay. So basically, this is the outlook of Excel. Yes. So Mr. Joshua will take it from here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Aya. A bit of the introduction. So I'll continue with the data, how we input the data and start with our calculations. So we'll be doing more, I'll be saying of rows and columns. So you should know what a row is and what a column is. And Yaya has educated us on where the row and the columns are. Okay, so let's start to feed our Excel sheet with data. Okay, so the first thing I want us to do is to on cell B5, cell B5. So you know B5. So the first thing we need to enter is item. So you type item. Everyone, you have to click on cell B5. So this is a cell. It's a cell. Okay. So you click on a cell, and we are entering item on cell B5. Cell B5. Cell B5. Then on cell C5, you will type January. Cell D5, we start February. So we have D5, we have E5, we have F5. We are working on the same column. So the same column has the same number. So I can quickly clear mine and type items. They are good to go. So January, February, and March. And we have this, the last cell, just cell F5 to be the total. So let's quickly type those into our Excel sheet. Are we there? Okay. So are we done with the items, January, February, March, and the total? So on cell B6, we continue typing what we can see on our screen, the ones I've shared on the screen. So we type training, office supplies, computer expenses, copying, printing, travel, service contracts, telephone, miscellaneous expenses. So these are basically an expenses that someone has made. Okay. So we are trying to see how we can do the calculation on it, the basic calculation on it. So we need to feed our Excel sheets with this data before we can start working on it. Computer expenses. copying, yeah. And the next one is printing. Travel. So these are office expenses. So if you have any kind of challenges, then you alert me. Those of us on Zoom, if you have any kind of challenges, you can unmute yourself and come in. Service contracts. So, if you are typing the miscellaneous expenses and you see that that is not filling the whole cell, we would expand it. So for instance, on your desktop, it will be something like this, right? And we would like to expand it. So what we do is I'll move the cursor to cell in between cell B and C. Okay. If you move the cursor to that, you see there's a plus sign. Then you double click it, then it will expand for you. Okay. So in this scenario, you see the expansion is very long. So I would like for it to be minimal. So I would bring my cursor. You see where I've located my cursor, then you drag it. You drag it to here, then it will be perfect. So if I double click, it's this way. If I want to make it smaller, then I need to drag it again, and I'll drag it. Are you following? Okay. So we move to so we can enter the numbers 100, 300, 500, 20, 32, 122, 13, 243, and 66. I've highlighted the whole cell from cell C downwards. And we will do same for February, do same for March. And we are going to leave the totals empty. Okay. So with the total, we will leave the total blank. So with the total, that's where we would insert the formula. For us to make our data clean, okay, we would, I would like us to bold the items, January, February, March, and the total, so that our data will be clean. So if you click on the items, you can see bold. You can see bold here, and there's a shorthand key for bold. That is the control key. Okay, so you can equally click on the items and click Control plus B, and it's going to give it a bold. Sorry? Okay, yes, we work on this. We work on it. So the January to, we will bold January. Yes. Okay, I'm really sorry about that. So I'll take my time. Okay. Typing. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay, so let's all follow along so that some of us will be on the same page. But if you have any question, feel free to raise your hand and I'll attend to you so that we can all be on the same page. And with what we are typing, we can all choose our own font size, but we can go with area. So I'm using area as my font size. Okay, sorry, as my font size is 12. Okay, so let's all be on the same page and then make our font size 12. So that it will be a little bigger on your screen. So if I want to change my data, I want to change the font size, I can highlight what I've typed. I can highlight the whole cell and come here and then change it. So I can change it to 14 and we will see that it will change. The same way I can change it to 12 and it's going to change. Select 12. The same way I can change. You see, we have all these around too, which you can also change. That's the font style. We have the font style, we have the font size. So we can change the style, but for us to be professional, let's stick with, you can just type Arial. So it's A-R-I-A-L. Then you press your enter and it will change. So as far as you have highlighted the whole cell, mistake, there is undo and redo. So we have the undo and redo button that you can click on. So if you feel you've made a mistake and you want to go back, this is the undo button. Where my cursor is. Okay. So you can do undo, and to undo anything that you've done that you feel is a mistake for you. So we have the undo and the redo. Since you are still working around, let's save our work so that we don't lose our data. So let's all save it together. So on the top right corner, where I'm standing, I'm facing the left hand corner. So there is something like a diskette, which is a save button. You can save it here, and also we can just see when I click on the office button, there'll be a drop down menu. Okay, and there's a save and there's a save as. Okay. So let's go with the save as. So we're going to save as Excel workbook. So I will repeat that. So on the office button, when I click on it, there's a drop down menu. Okay, so we have new. Where new means I can create a new Excel sheet. Okay, and we have open that I can open other workbooks that I've already worked on. And we have save, we have save as, we have prints, we have prepare, send, publish, and close. For now, let's work with the save as. Okay. So we would go to save as Excel workbook. Save as Excel workbook. Yeah, so you can add a file name to it. And you can also choose the location where you want to save your Excel sheet to. So the location, we have, let's save it to documents. So we can save it to our documents, and you can rename it. So you can rename it to the one that can benefit. You can know that this is how you name it. So you can name it Excel Book 1, or you can add your name to it. So if we come and then we are continuing, you know that this is your Excel workbook. So our next meeting, you sit at where you start today. The PC you are working on, that's where you sit, please, so that we can move along with what we are doing. Because Excel really entails a lot. And today I want us to cover the basics so that as time goes on, we continue. So documents, the file name is here. You have the file name, then you can type it here. So I can delete this whole thing and type my folder name. So in this scenario, I will not save again. So I will go back. Have you all been able to save it? So I want to also add this. While you are working on your data, there is a settings where you can do auto save. So while you are working on it, Excel will auto save your data for you. But if you've not done that setting, then you need to be saving it alongside. So the easiest way is this particular button, the save. Or I can use a shortcut key, Control+S. So Control plus S would automatically save it for me. So those of us on Zoom, are we following along? If you have any question, you can leave it in the chat box so that I can attend to you. So after saving it, you see your worksheet name will automatically change. So you should see your new worksheet's name here. It's supposed to show you this. So while we are still inputting our data, let me also show you some few stuff that will also help us. Are we here? Okay. So let me introduce to the, we have the bold, we have the bold, we have the italic, and we have the underline. Okay, so we have the double underline too as well. So it all depends on what you are doing. Okay. And we also have, if you want to increase the font size as well, you can easily also use that one. If I want to decrease it, I can also use this option as well. So I have to undo all this. I have to click on it and I'll get my data back. And we have So we have the alignment. Okay, we have the alignment. So we have align center, we have align left, we have align right. So if you want to align your data to left, right, you can use alignment. That's the feature. Okay, the first is there. And we also have the general. So here, with the aspect, I'll hold on for now. If we come to that, then I'll show you. So we have the insert. If you want to insert a picture, want to insert an image, I mean, any clip arts, all of that, you can insert it. So you can, and even if you want to insert cells, there's a way you can insert your cells too as well, and then you will. So in this scenario, if I want to insert, let's say, a new row, how will I go about it? I can just right click here, highlight the cell B5, right click, then go and look for insert. Okay, if I look for insert, I'll just click on the insert. And you can see that I have another row that's given me. In this same scenario, I can delete the row. I can still delete it. And I delete it, I still have my B back, my cell B back. In this same scenario, I can format the whole cell if I want to. So there's an option for you to format cells. So if you come to format cells, this is what you see. You see numbers, alignment, font, border, fill, protection. So this is another thing that you look at it as we continue. So I just introduce it to you so that you have the idea. Okay. So are we done with are we done feeding the Excel sheet with data? Yeah, so on. Okay, that's fine. So let's give ourselves time. In the next 5 minutes, let's finish it so that we can catch up with the time. Okay. So let's beef up our typing speed. If you need assistance, you can call me, please. Okay, it's underlined. So that's when I thought you can click on it and underline. In that same scenario, you can select the whole cell and underline it. Okay, so you can underline. When you select, in this scenario, if you select the underline, it will underline individual rows, right? So we need to format it. So that's why we have the format cells. So in this scenario, we can use borders. So we have the borders. So bottom border. You see the bottom border, we have when you watch the bottom border is being highlighted. Okay, it's been highlighted on the screen. If you look at top border, to the top, the cell, the top of this border would highlight. Okay, so let me come again. So we have bottom border. When you say bottom, so in a cell we have 4 sheets. Okay, so we are looking at, let me click here. Let me click on an empty cell. So okay, here. Okay, A7, cell A7. So this is where the bottom border is. Okay, this is the bottom border. And this is the top border. Top border, bottom border. So we can equally select the whole cell and go to the border and then choose bottom border. And it will give us that long line, which we can all see. Is it working for you? It's working. Okay, so let me come again. So if you want to underline it, let's select the whole cell up to total. Okay, and select here. We have the bottom, we have the border. So we have the bottom border, the top border, the left border, right border, and then all of that. Horizontal, blah, 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 blah. Now we are only using the bottom border. So just select the bottom border. For now, you can ignore it. My main focus is show you the formula. Okay. And you can come back to the formatting earlier on. So today, let's do it how we can do the calculation. When it comes to the formatting, I'll take time and then show you how to do the formatting very well so that we can all align. Okay. So let's feed our Excel sheets with the data and we can move to the formatting it. So it's 11:30. So let's feed our Excel sheets in the next 5 minutes. Let's be done so that I can show you how to do the calculation. So it's 11:30. So 11:35. Then we start with the formulas. It looks like most of us are done. So we have just 2 minutes. I want to show you something, okay? How to merge cells. So you can see that I've done something like using Excel calculating office expenses. let me quickly copy all this. So let me quickly copy it. Okay. So we can see, okay, we already made the cells here. So let me cut it from here. Okay, so now the cells are not made. So let me just copy and paste it here. Okay, so with the 2007, I'm struggling to see the Megan Center. So I'm trying to see where it is. In Megan Center. Okay. So the 27 is hidden. It's hidden here. Okay, so I can select the whole this cell. Okay, the whole of it, and choose merge and center. So why are we doing merge and center? We are trying to make sure that the wording that we have done is on the same line. You know, when you are writing, sometimes these we have column, they are boxes. Okay, so it's very difficult for you to type long sentence. So in this scenario, we can merge the cells so that we can type long sentence. So when I come to merge and center, quickly you see that the lines there is not there again. It's missing. You see, and when I click on it, when I come to the formula bar, you see it's there. It's showing for us. So let's quickly do this. So we are even past the 5 minutes. Yes, we are past 5 minutes. No, just do this. Again. Okay, so I'm going back. So let me delete, let me copy, let me delete. My cells are already made. So let me go back. Let me undo. Okay. So I'll copy and paste. I've lost my copy and paste. So okay, so let me type let me just type office expenses. So I can quickly merge it. So it's merge and center. So as soon as I do that, it will merge and then to center for me. So let me delete it. Okay, so we are starting with the calculation. Here, please, I want you to pay attention. If you don't pay attention, you'll miss out. Let's pay attention. So in Excel, if you are starting with calculation, and if you are typing to the formula bar, the first thing you do is you type equals to. If you want to insert a formula in an Excel sheet, the first thing you type is what? Equals to. Then we come to open brackets. It's very important, so please pay attention. If you miss this one, you are lost. This is the most important thing. Okay, so please pay attention. Don't type anything. Just watch what I'm doing. After that, I'll give you the time so that you also need to know own. So don't watch on the PC, so please watch here. I've typed equals to, okay. And the next thing I'll do is I'll go to open brackets. So on my keyboard, I have my open brackets here. So on my keyboard, I have to use Shift+9. Shift+9, okay. So on your keyboard, it's supposed to be the same, Shift+9. Okay. So we are calculating, we are summing January, February, and March. So it's more of 100 plus 300 plus 300. That's the calculation. This is basic math. And Excel has done an inbuilt function for it. So it will automatically do the calculations for you. So you don't need to go and punch calculator again. Get it. Even when you're doing a punch calculator, we do make mistakes. But Excel is data in, garbage out. What you feed it is what it will give you. It doesn't make any mistake. So when you type any mistake, it will give you an error. So it should alert you that you've done a mistake with your formula. And it will give you, probably to give you a hint on how you can solve it. So when I was designing this particular template, I also brought a simple way for you to know how to do calculation. When you bring it here, it says calculate the total for each category for items for all. So that's how I designed it to be, so I can get a fair idea about it. And I have uploaded this in the Google Classroom. So if you get home, you can go in the Google Classroom and download it, and you can start to practice with it. But we are going to do it step by step. So now I said equals to, what am I trying to do? Okay, I want to do a sum. I want S. You see that there are other formulas. There are thousands of formulas. So you should tell Excel the particular formula you want. So I'll type sum. As soon as I type sum, it will pop up. So you can see sum here. Where sum means what? We are adding. So I'll select the sum. I'll press my enter, and I'll select my sum, and I'll go to my open brackets. Okay. Open brackets. See, Excel is telling us that there is number one, number two. In this scenario, Excel is trying to tell us that which of the cells do you want to calculate? You get it? So we are feeding it with a particular formula. So in this scenario, I'll have to indicate that I want to calculate for C6. So as soon as I highlight C6, you see there's a blinking cursor around it. Okay, and it has different colors. Okay, and in this I can go with plus. Okay, as soon as I input the plus, Excel understand that I'm doing sum. Then I click on this again. You see that the color has changed. Then I will add another plus to it. Then I go to match. That is cell E6. So as soon as I close this bracket, Excel now knows that I've closed my formula. So I can press my enter. So I'll press my enter. And Excel has done the calculation for me. So in this, what makes Excel simpler is that I don't need to come to cell C7 and enter the same formula again. Okay, so what I will do is here, I'll send my cursor to where the, you see, I'll send my cursor here and I'll drag it down. So as soon as I drag it down, Excel will automatically do the calculation for me. So in this scenario, when I click here, Excel is telling me that it's a sum of, you see, Excel will tell me that it's a sum of C7, D7 plus E7. Are we getting it? Okay. So there's another different approach that I'll show you as well. I'll go, let me clear the formula. Let me delete it. Let me delete the formula. So when I'm starting a formula, what's the first thing I need to do? Equals to, fine. And what the next thing I need to do? Then I'm doing what you're telling me, I'm not doing what I know. So you said I should cancel the sum. Wait. Are we on the same page? Should I cancel the sum or I should? Okay. Then what should I do next? Open brackets. Okay, that's fine. So with this different approach, I would just come here to cell C6 and I will highlight it. The same formula, but different approach. Same formula, different approach. And what's the last thing I need to do? I have to close the bracket. Exactly. So as soon as I close the bracket, Excel knows that I'm done with the formula. Excel understands that language. It's a language which is looking at the back end. And as soon as I click on the enter, I'm going to get the same calculation. And I'll come again and do what I showed you. I'll drag it down and we are good to go. So you can see that when I double click here on the cell F8, it's the same thing, right? But in this approach, we have two approaches. I've showed you the plus, I've showed you the sum. Sorry, it's still plus, but I've showed how to drag it. So in this scenario, you see that there is C6 and a colon and E8. So it means that Excel is taking from the cell C6 to the E6. So my math teachers, when there's a colon, it should tell you something. So this is pure mathematics. So in this scenario, we are doing the same thing now. So all of you, let's get to our data and then input the formula. So I will see the first method. Let's start with the first method. The bracket is shifts. So the bracket on the keyboard, you will see we have 9 and brackets. So we have two symbols there. So for us to get one of it, we need to use shifts. So shift on our keyboard, you locate shifts on your keyboard. So shift plus 9. Can we all locate the shifts on our keyboard? You see a small arrow right after caps lock, under caps lock, there's a small arrow. On other keyboards, they've written shifts, but with this keyboard, they've written is an arrow. So control plus 9. IT lab is I want is anyways. Are we getting the same figures, or we are getting ones and twos, or we are getting errors? If I get an error, please let me know.
No, we are supposed to be by the process. So after equal, then moving brackets and what
Then the formula. So the formula. So sum equals to sum, open your brackets, you select your cell plus this plus that, and I close the brackets. Then I press on enter. I'll get my 700. So if you highlight and you drag it down and doesn't happen, it means that you didn't highlight it well. So let me go back. Let me go back so that you see how I did the highlighting. So when I click on cell F6, you get it. You see there is this small point here, and the cursor has to change. Make sure that the cursor change to plus. Make sure that the cursor changes to plus before it will work. If the cursor doesn't change to plus, it will not work. Please, if the cursor doesn't change to plus, it will not work. Yes. You still have to pay.
Because some is plus.
Some is plus. So what Jara is trying to say is that, okay, so now, Jara, in your scenario, let's just try something whether it will work. So I've cleared the formula. Excel understand only one language. So let's bring our equals to, and then bring our open bracket without the sum. Okay, and let's go to C6, and let's add a plus, and let's add this. Let's add a plus. Let's add this. It's still going to work for you. Let me enter. See, it still works. I wanted you guys to understand the sum. There are so many ways to play the cards. And when it comes to Excel, there are a lot of formulas. I can form my own formula right now and tell Microsoft that this is my formula. So let's integrate the formula into it. So we have MVPs, Microsoft Valuable Professionals. They have been working with products for a longer time. So there is this man I follow a lot. He's called it Excel Campus. I'll introduce him to you when we are done. Excel Campus has every tutorial for you, from beginner level to advanced. I mean, data analysis, Power BI, and a whole lot. So I do follow him a lot. He's a Microsoft MVP when it comes to Excel. So Microsoft has a lot of technologies. So I can choose one that I feel I'm confident with and start working with it. Okay. Okay, so are we done? How many of us are on? I didn't say it loud. I want us to finish this particular calculation so that we can get a lunch break. Then we come back and continue. Is it okay for us? Is it okay? So those of us are on Zoom, sorry, you're not going to get some of the lunch. Jaira would forward the lunch via mail. So Tony, Listovel, and Wheezy. So we are sorry. We will send your lunch to you via mail. So are we on the same line? Have you been able to do the calculation? Okay. If you've been able to do the calculation, then I want us to do the last calculation and go for lunch. So we have totals here, right? We have totals here. What are we trying to achieve? We're trying to sum on that column, January column. I want to know all my office expenses in January. Okay, all the expenses I made in January, I want to know. So I want you guys to do that calculation. I've already showed you how to do it. So I would want you guys to do it. I'll come and check. And within 5 minutes, I'll check on everyone's PC. Only if you are all done, that's when you go for lunch. If you are not done, you'll still be here. So the next 5 minutes, please, let's finish this. The same way we did the formula for these ones. You see, if you bring a formula, if you're able to do one formula, you just drag it. Don't waste your time to repeat the game. Okay, just drag it. It will turn to black, plus, then you drag it to give you. Are we done? Now done. So I'll check on everyone's PC. Are we getting the same figures as shown on my screen? It looks like we are all on the same page, and we are doing well. It's interesting. It's interesting. So are you okay with what we are doing today? I want feedback. I want feedback from some of you. So what have we learned today? At least, if I just tell me something is learned today, then we go for the line break and we come back, then do one or two things, then we are done for the day. We continue the next on our next session. Today we've done a lot. We've covered a lot. At least we've done a sum. I'll continue with multiplication and then the other ones when we are back, but we know all of it. In our next meetings, we go to another level. We can go to formatting Excel sheets, adding symbols to it, the dollar sign, the Ghana city sign. So we have the accounting, those kind of stuff. So we continue. So I want only two people to just tell us what they have learned today so far. So far. Maybe something you never knew, but you know it today. Not something you knew already. Something you never knew. But today, because of the training, you're able to know. Our point. Okay, Mama. You raise your hand. Yes.
First, when you doing the sun,
Okay.
I was doing
Horizontal. And then drag it down. It will populate the formula in all the cell for you. In the same scenario, anything I change, any data I change here, automatically it will change my formula back. So in this case, if I type 800 and I leave it, my total will change. As far as I have a formula there, it will change. It's in the total. So that's how Excel works. All right. So yeah. So those of us on Zoom, we are going for a line break. Be right back. Thank you very much for your time. If you're not there,
interested in what you just said, the introduction. And yeah, section. All right. Try and make
Hello, ITEL S15.
Hello.
Yeah, this is Yaya. We are on lunch now. I don't know. I hope you're on the page.
Yes, I'm on the page.
Okay, so
I
will you
joined
stay?
a moment ago, but the network wasn't good, and so I went off and I just came.
Okay, okay. The other issue is that it's being recorded, so, and it's being live streamed on YouTube as well. So maybe
Okay.
you want to watch the YouTube later. And aside that, all the study materials are in the Google Classroom. You could also use that
Okay.
as.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are on lunch. We will end at 12:20.
And I think it's 12 now, so.
Yes, we will return at 12:20.
Oh, okay, to continue.
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. And when are you ending the class for today?
Okay, it will be like when we come back, 11:01 now, then we end.
Okay. Please, are you doing the PowerPoint presentation today?
No, that will be maybe the next two meetings.
Oh, okay. So today is about the Excel.
Excel alone.
Oh, okay. Then I hope to join you when you come back after the break.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
Please,
You're welcome, bro.
please so well with us.
Yes.
Yeah, we're 7. So please, when you are done the task, you can. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Yeah, please so well. How was it? We are on break now.
Yes. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, well, your line is breaking.
Yeah.
Wow, I hardly hear from you. Your line is seriously breaking. Yeah, listen well.
Hello.
Wow, I think yes.
Yes, please.
Okay, can you hear from?
I said. Okay, can you hear from? Yes, please.
Oh, the line is breaking.
Hello.
Yes, it's fine now.
I said I've learned a lot today.
Okay. Wow.
The class was very interesting.
Okay. Okay, that's so great to hear. That's so great to hear. And we will return at 12:20 to continue.
Oh. Okay. You.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm just doing today the basic concepts. And then we can continue the basic applications. So that they are correct with that. So how do we like create a more so that so sometimes when I start I realize that that's what you think about that and then you get it like that. So it's very yeah. I just like connection with like I don't know. Okay, so we are about to start. Hello. So we are coming to start because of time. There are others who are watching us live. So we need to start so that they can follow along. To my audience who are watching us live on Zoom and on YouTube, thank you very much for your time. So we are back from our lunch break. And we will continue in 5 minutes time. Okay, so we are all seated, so let's get started. We've gotten some rice to be done, so we are now fit. We are back. I'm fit now. Okay, so one thing I want to understand is we are using a particular model to educate all of us that we can align. We can know how things are going. We can do follow up. So we have feedback forms. And I want to introduce you. I believe you all know about the Google Heights. Are you aware? You want to join our Google Classroom. Okay. Because when you're not seeing it, you have it. Okay. So okay. So those of us that could not register after the session, then you see diagram. So you are 60. So we are using a particular model to help all of us so that we can track your progress. I'll give you assignments. When you go home, you make sure that you finish it and you upload it for me, please. Okay. So it's called Google Classroom. That's where we upload our documents. So I have the particular documents uploaded already. So if you sign in, you see it there. If you get home, you can work around it. Okay. So now we are dealing with the basic concepts. That's what we are dealing with today. We have basic calculation, quick analysis. We have a lot. Okay. So let's get started. So now we understand how to feed our Excel sheets with data. We understand so the same way we introduced the equals to sign before we added our formula, that's how we can still go with it. So let me type something here. Let's see something so that we can get multiplication. If not, we know how to go around it. I'll show you something. This is not multiplication. So there's a different way to go around it. Okay, let me show you. So we introduce the open brackets. Okay. Then I select, let's say, cell D6. Okay. So on our keyboard, there is asterisk. On our keyboard, there is asterisk. So if you use an asterisk here, you select cell D6 and you close the brackets. And it's going to do the magic for us. Let me press enter, and I've done the calculation for me. Same scenario as I taught you earlier on. I'll drag down, and I'm going to get all my calculations. So this is how to do multiplication using an Excel. So in this scenario, we didn't introduce anything like sum. In this scenario, we didn't introduce like multiplication. The rule here is for us to use asterisk. So Excel understands that when you use asterisk, it's multiplication. Are we getting it? Okay, so I'm going about it. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so I'll introduce my equal to, and I'll introduce my open brackets. Then I'll go and look for the figure I want to do my multiplication on. I can select any of the cell. So in this scenario, I will choose travel expenses in January. Multiplied by, let me just find another one, like in March. Now select. So as soon as you select, you should see the color indicator. That one will also help you know the particular cell you have selected. And I will close the brackets. The next thing I have to do is to press enter. And Excel will do the magic for me. You are working the data, and you know what you want. So you can see that I'm getting 0. Sometimes if you feel that the calculation is not accurate, there's a way you can check it. Okay, so you double click on a cell. Double click on Excel. So I realized that Excel selected cell A16 multiplied by cell A11. And the cell A11 is empty. It's empty. Okay. So that's why it's giving us that particular. So I need to clear it, I need to delete it. Okay, so let's quickly do this. A question. Okay. Okay, so the question I asked, let's try to all see. Okay, so we have equals to that. When I press enter, so give me the formula. You mostly in Excel, we introduce the brackets to make the formula easy for you to read. Because when a formula comes there, very look formulas which needs with open brackets. These are the basic formulas, but there are some formulas that you need to use very lookups and then all of that. Very long formula, and the brackets will help you to identify the formula. Yes, there's another hand up. Okay. Okay. Works. And also, there are times that you enter a formula in the cell that don't work, give you error. That's why I wanted you to see for himself. You need to see the things like the different steps that they can use to test. Yeah, since they are kids, go it's at the top of their head. With Excel 2007, nowadays a lot of people don't use it. And there are a lot of features in the 2010, 2016, and then all of that. So at the appropriate time, I will introduce you to the different features which is available so that we are all aware. Okay, yes. They are able to add something to the bracket for us. Okay, so about the brackets, like you said, sometimes the formula is quite long. Like maybe it's A5 plus A6 minus this and this equal here. So when the equation becomes the loss and you don't use brackets, sometimes you won't get the right answer. Yes. And the bracket will get the just in our normal mathematics, it's board math, right? Yeah. So that's how Excel also works. So it's pure math, board math. So if you introduce the brackets, Excel will really understand it very well, as well as you not introducing the brackets. Because 2 plus 1 when you bring brackets, they give you different answer. But if you don't bring brackets, they give you a different answer. We are coming to look at maximum. So what do we understand by maximum? Minimum. So this scenario, I've added that together. It said calculate the highest value for all months. So how are we going to calculate the high value for all the months? Can someone show me? Calculate the highest value for all months. And we've done this calculation already. We've done going to insert the formula. Does anyone have that idea? Okay. Same formula, but math. Okay. Okay. That's fine. But with our data, we are supposed to select a particular cell to give us the maximum total expenses. You get it? So we have totals here, right? We have the total here. 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 And the total, if you come and right click on this, double click on it, it's giving us the total of all your expenses that you have made. Okay. But this for January is giving us the total for only January. Okay, this total. That's why I've indicated totals. Okay. So in this scenario, we would have to select. Okay, so let's start with the formula. You would introduce the equals to. And because we are looking at for the maximum, you type MA. You type this, then a shortcut for it. If it's max, if you see max, it means maximum. So I'll select the max. You see, when I click on enter, I have an error. Why is Excel giving me this error? Can anyone answer it? Why is Excel giving me this error? I've just typed equals to max. Okay, that's right. Okay, so I was telling you that Excel would sometimes guide you, right? So if you come here, there's a yellow button here. That the formula contains unrecognized text. So Excel doesn't understand what you have typed. That's why it's throwing that error to us. So you can get help on this error. So sometimes if you are looking into data and you see this kind of error, these are the first steps you can also follow. So let's rewrite the formula. The max, I can introduce the brackets, okay, and I go and select my totals. Which is F15. And I just close the bracket. So it works this way. But I want us to understand it very well so that, because I'm asking you to calculate the maximum, calculate the highest value for all months, for all the months. So in this scenario, these are all the months. We have the total for all the months, right? And we've done the calculations for it. So that's why we came to select this one. That's why we didn't go and select cell E15, but we selected cell F15. You need to understand what you're supposed to do. Okay. Did we get it? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I'm introducing you to the formula so that we get it, how we can input our formulas. Okay. So all the total that we have given, we are looking at the maximum expenditure that we did. Okay, the expenditure item. Exactly. More. The max. We get it. So if you come here, we are going to see that we had 6,410. So if we come to our expenditure, Excel would actually do the calculation. We know what we're doing. So you know your maximum, like the maximum hit that you get. So sorry, there's a mistake here. So a maximum of all the expenditure of all the expenditure. Of all these expenditure, not the total. That's why Excel gave us the same amount as the total. So let's do for the minimum expenditure. Okay, so let me start. Okay, so we introduce the equal to sign. Then we type. Okay, sorry. So the maximum, just type it. Type maximum, minimum, average, and count. In cell B17, depending on what you are doing in cell B. In this cell, you feel comfortable. So maximum, minimum, average, count. Okay, so I'm going all over again so that we know the formula. So maximum, I'll introduce my equals to symbol, and I introduce the formula that I want to do. Okay, so in this scenario, we are going with maximum. So I'll type my MA-AX, and it will automatically pop up. And I introduce my open bracket. Then I'll start from training. I'll click on the training without, I'll hold the right, sorry. So when you're selecting, you right click. When you right click, don't leave it. So you right click, you hold it, you drag it down. Then you leave the cursor. Then you introduce the closed brackets. Then I'll click on my enter. And I'll see that's my 1,320. So when I come back and double click on this cell, it will show me the row that I did the calculation on. I'm going okay. So I'm going all over again. So we are calculating for maximum expenditure. I'll introduce my equals to sign. Then I'll introduce my maximum. So in this scenario, Excel knows the maximum as MAX, which represents maximum. So okay, then I'll introduce the brackets. So I'll select cell F6. Whilst I'm holding my left cursor, the mouse, I'll not leave it. Now drag it down. Then I'll leave it. Then I'll introduce my closed bracket. Then I'll click on enter. So now let's come to our total expenditure. You realize that the maximum expenditure that we did is 1,320, which is here. So Excel looked up into our total expenditures and Excel figured out the total maximum expenditure. So the 1,320 is still in the total expenditure, right? That's what we are seeing here, 1,320. Are we getting it? Okay. So let me go over again. So for training, please, I need your attention. Okay. Oh, yes. So computer expense is 500. So let me change it to 500. Okay. That's fine. So in the month of January, for my training, I spent 100 cedis. February, I spent 100 cedis. March, I spent another 300 cedis. So the total of that month is 700 cedis. And now I want to know all my expenses that I made in these 3 months. The one I did the highest expenditure. Okay, the one I spent more on. Okay. The particular data which would be a lot than this. Okay. That you can easily just use your eye to fetch it out. So let's all do it. So now we are coming to look at minimum, my minimum expenditure, my minimum total expenditure. So you still introduce the equals to, then introduce minimum, MIN, minimum. Then we introduce our open brackets. And you go and select that same cell that you selected, because that's where we are looking at. Then I'll close the bracket. So in this scenario, my minimum expenditure is my miscellaneous expense, which is 88. So it's just 88. Are we okay with the minimum? You press the enter tab. Yes. Let me check for it. I can see other people have done the average. So continue and do the average. It's the same procedure. You introduce your equals to open average, open brackets. You select all the cell, then you close the brackets. But in this scenario, you realize that the average is in full. Don't be surprised. The average is in full. So you choose the average. So averagely we spent 678.88 Ghana cedis. Okay. Please, I need your attention. I want to show you something. So you realize that we have 678.8889. And in mathematics, normally you go with 2 decimal places. So let's format the cell. So you click on the cell, right click on it. You'll get a drop up menu. Then we select format cells. Please stop doing anything. Then I want to understand it. Okay? Please. Format cells. You go to format cells. I'll click on format cells. So we can see general. We have the general is giving us general format cells have no specific number format. But if you go to number, then you can choose decimal places. You can choose 10 decimal place, 12. And as you are choosing, you're increasing it, it's duplicating here. That's a sample. to duplicate for you so that you know the decimal place you are choosing. But now let's go with only two decimal place. So if you look at the sample to give you only two decimal place, then we come to OK. Realize that that's changed. Are we okay? Then okay, so let me go over it again. So I'll right click on the cell average, cell C19. Then I'll go to format cells. Then we have general and all of that. Then I'll format it to only two decimal place. I can choose one decimal place. I can choose 10 decimal place. But in this scenario, we are choosing two decimal place. So I just choose 2 and I'll come to OK. Then it's going to give me this. In this same scenario, if I want to introduce a currency, I can still use format cells to introduce currency. Are we all there? Can I continue, please? Or I should relax? Okay. Okay, so I'm continuing. So we are coming to count. So you want to count the number of cells that we have. You know, what the numbers, we have a lot of numbers. What I'll do is I'll introduce my equals to then type count. See it to pop up. Then I'll come and select all the cells, excluding the totals. Then you see I didn't introduce the bracket and it's giving me an error. So let me introduce the bracket. That's why the bracket is very, very important. Then I'll come and select all the cells here, excluding the totals. Then I'll close the bracket. So we have that same formula bar here, and you can easily read it. And I'll click on enter. So that's giving me 35. Maybe 35. Yes, so you can go ahead and do the same thing. Or should I go all over again? Okay, so let me clear it. Let me introduce my equals to, then count. And I introduce my opening brackets. Then all these cells, excluding the totals. Then I'll close the brackets. That's I mean, the total under the miscellaneous expenses going to our okay. So we are all good to go. I want to show you something, please. So this is another example of basic function. So this is your assignment. It's already uploaded. So if you get access to it, then you solve this. You solve this for me. This place is blank. This is blank. I'm just hoping I have not done that calculation there. If that is the case, I'm going to change it. So we move on to basic calculation. This will be our final tutorials for the day. Then our next important section. But the way this one is, you can't do it today because if I ask you to start with the data inputs, it's going to take a lot of time. Take a lot of time. So I'll ask from you, do you want us to do it today or our next meeting? Our next meeting. Yes, sir. Yes, we can. As far as we have the data, so in our next meeting, I would like you guys to give me data. Give me data that will include all of that. Okay, so you can share it with me on the co-classroom. Then I'll look at it in our next meeting. Then we have calculation. I don't have the data here, so I cannot tell you how. So the data positions and the position includes mass. Like the matters. Unless you help me, then I do the inputting right now. Then we can do the calculation because I don't have the data at the moment. So and Excel we work with data. Bawa. So Bawa, I'm taxing you with that.
Hello. Your microphone is mute.
So we can just what time for the Excel is one very hard. We use it to make the software for the average people. So we use it some of our students even use it to design system for mobile. So how you're doing the work, you know the amount you have, you just enter it there. When you know what you have, you count and you count it. So you give you your profit, you give you your balance, and then everything, so you can start all your. So these are people who don't even know how to system for most of us. We believe that a lot of us maybe we will have time to continue with the next step because I think there's still a lot more we could do on this. But next meeting is likely to be internet, introduction to the internet, because our classes and other things are on the internet, and then we will have to the last thing has to do with our time. Those who came early today were punished. They stayed for a very long time waiting for us, and now we need to come. Welcome everyone. Okay, thank you all. Or any questions? And those who want